Good morning. You're watching Morning Headlines with me, Vidusha Agarwal. Let us take a look at the top newspapers today. To begin with, Assam hits the road to UCC, ends Muslim marriage law. Well, the Assam cabinet decided to repeal the Assam Muslim Marriage and Divorce Registration Act 1935, taking the first step towards a uniform civil code in the state a fortnight after the Uttarakhand Assembly became the first in the country to show the green light to the CCC. A quote in the newspaper says, announcing the Assam cabinet decision on doing away with what he called a colonial act, Minister Jayanta Malla Barua said it was a very important step, the journey towards a uniform civil code in the state. Let me tell you that the Chief Minister Hemanta Biswa Sarma has repeatedly said that the Assam government is working towards introducing a CCC. At the same time, it has also been working on a bill to ban polygamy, making it a criminal offense. The state government was in the final lap of its anti-polygamy bill and was due to introduce it in the ongoing assembly session. The news has been covered by the Indian Express as well as the Times of India on the front page. Youth's addict. Slamming Rahul Gandhi without naming him, Prime Minister Narendra Modi said on Friday that the Congress ke Shahi Parivar ke Yuvraj had insulted the youth of Kashi and Uttar Pradesh by describing them as nashedi, or also known as addicts. A quote from the newspaper, which I'm reading on, says, he was responding to a remark by Rahul Gandhi, who continued on page 2, who told the entire session that the people were not abiding by the rules and regulations, and also that the people are nashedi, in the people of Uttar Pradesh as well as Varanasi are nashedi. Now, at the event at Sant Ravidas, Modi launched a scathing attack on the India blog, saying these parties believe in instigating people in the name of caste and making them fight. He said the opposition leaders cannot tolerate Dalits and tribal people occupying high posts, and cited the presidential election which was contested by Draupadi Murmu. The news is covered by the Indian Express as well as the Times of India on the front page. Khali, West Bengal. In Sandesh Khali, 700 complaints over 6 days about TMC excesses. There's a serpentine queue at the Block Development Office, BDO, in West Bengal, Sandesh Khali, a village that has been at the epicenter of a political firestorm ever since allegations emerged against TMC leaders of excesses against local residents, from land grabbing to sexual harassment. A court says many complaints said land was forcibly taken from them. Some said that the land was taken on lease but money was not paid. Though there were complaints related to state government services like old age pension, job cards, etc., said Samantha, sitting with other officers in this room and occasionally looking at reports of fresh fare-ups on the television. This outreach program is apart from police teams reaching out to women to register complaints of sexual assault. Earlier this month, several women had also alleged TMC leader Sheikh Shah Jahan's aides Shiba Prasad Hazra and Uttam Sarkar had been sexually harassing them for years on the pretext of late night meetings. Both men have been arrested while Shah Jahan is on the run. The news has been covered by the Indian Express on the Express Network page. Move on to the international page of the newspapers. US targets Russia with hundreds of sanctions over Ukraine, Navalny death. The United States on Friday imposed extensive sanctions against Russia, targeting more than 500 people and entities to mark the second anniversary of invasion of Ukraine and retaliate for the death of Russian opposition leader Alexei Navalny. A court says President Joe Biden said to the measures aim to ensure Russian President Vladimir Putin pays a even steeper price for the aggression abroad and repression at home. Well, the Biden administration is seeking to continue supporting Ukraine as the country faces acute shortages of ammunition, and the approval of more US military aid has been delayed for months in the US Congress. The European Union and Britain also took action against Russia. The news has been covered on the international and world page of Times of India as well as the Indian Express. In the latest development, hypothermia, alcohol intoxication led to Indian origin student death report. Well, an 18-year-old Akul Dhawan froze to death after he was denied entry into a nightclub. This is the sixth unnatural death of an Indian in USA in 2024. A court says Akul B. Dhawan was found dead outside the campus building on January 20. An autopsy was performed on January 23, which confirmed Dhawan's death was due to hypothermia. Let me tell you that since the beginning of this year, a string of deaths among Indian and Indian origin students has caused alarm and concern among the community. Last month, 25-year-old Indian student Vivek Saini was hammered to death by a homeless drug addict in Georgia. Indian-American Samir Kamath, 23, a student at Purdue University who was found dead in a nature preserve in Indiana earlier, died this month from a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head, according to the authorities. The news has been covered by the Indian Express on the world page. Let us move on to the economy page. Byju's shareholders vote to remove CEO Kin. Company says EGM invalid. Setting the stage for a legal battle, the shareholders of Byju's on Friday voted to oust the edtech firm's founder, CEO Byju Ravindran, and to reconstitute its board of directors over mismanagement. The company stood its ground, calling the resolutions invalid as they were passed in the absence of the founders at an extraordinary general meeting or EGM. The shareholders unanimously passed all resolutions, said a statement from tech investment firm's Process, one of the shareholders that called the EGM. The Karnataka High Court had on Wednesday allowed the EGM to go ahead, but it also said that any decision made during the meeting would not be given effect until the next date of hearing, which is March 13. The news has been covered by the Times of India as well as Indian Express on the economy page. Let us see what is happening in sports. Not average, outstanding Joe. Well, a quote in the newspaper says, it was only late into his 70s that the attempted a reverse sweep, the scoop variant that triggered widespread ire in Rajkot. Well, England's star batter, Joe Root, has described why he is considered one of the greatest batsmen of this era. Emerging from the ruins as he was struggling with whatever was going on, bad form, he secured a massive ton and guided his team to a good score on the first day of the fourth test match going on in Ranchi. Apart from this, India's debutant, Akash Deep, also made a mark by dismissing 3 English batsmen in the early session in one day. For now, it would be interesting for the fans to see how India is going to get rid of Joe Root on the second day, as he is very well set on the pitch. The news has been covered by the Indian Express as well as the Times of India on the sports page.